Okay, Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be checking out Castle Rush for Rachel. I'm using a special team this time. Instead of just common heroes, I'm gonna put Miho because technically she is free. And the frontline units should be all very familiar to you. We have Lucy here, who is going to reduce Miho's cooldown whenever she heals. And then we have Yui here for the burn immunity. Ariel is also for burn immunity, but more importantly, she's also a magic damage booster. And then ACA is for passive defense down. So other alternatives other than Miho who can be used in the backline will include Sarah, okay? But Miho here, I'm just trying to try her out because I think more people have access to Miho compared to Sarah and probably would choose to build Miho over Sarah anyway. So I'm trying to kill off the front two mobs with Ariel's skills and preserve Miho's skills as much as possible for the later run. But unfortunately, because Ariel is just so weak, we have to use one of Miho's skills at least to kill off the minions. But definitely do not use her bottom skill because the bottom skill is the one that you need to debuff the boss with. Over here you start off with the debuff instantly, and then you can try to use Lucy's bottom skill to actually to heal yourself and also to reduce your cooldown for Miho. Miho's cooldown is definitely a little long. So as you can see, Rachel uses Phoenix here. The very important thing about this particular Castle Rush is to cleanse whenever she uses the Phoenix. Of course, when you proceed and progress in your game, sometimes the Phoenix debuff is not going to harm you that much, but especially for early game players, this Phoenix is very brutal, and I'm sure that many of you who have tried it last week probably would have died to the Phoenix, right? Especially after the Phoenix casts a defense down on you and an attack down on you, your score is going to be so low because your damage output will be directly nerfed, and you will also be taking a lot of damage from Rachel subsequently. So the debuff cleansing is very important for early game players. Again, nothing much because this team, basically you have not too many skills to cycle around. You just have to focus on Lucy's skill because whenever Rachel casts Phoenix, you have to have Lucy's skills ready. The cooldown timings of Lucy's skill and Rachel's Phoenix skill is a little... there will be a little gap. So you just have to hang in there. Hopefully you won't be taking too much damage. So once Miho's skills are ready, always use her bottom skill first, okay? Because you want to land the magic vulnerability on the enemies instead, then use her top skill. So this is a skill order that you really have to remember. Otherwise, you'll be using the top skill first and not doing as much damage. Then the bottom skill is just going to go to waste. Ariel here basically also acts like a sub DPS. Okay, not only does she do active defense down, she also is able to use her top skill to cast Miss Chance. As you saw, I think Rachel does miss certain hits. I think it is possible to land Ariel's debuff on Rachel, causing her to miss the debuff landing. I'm not too sure. This is something that we have to try out further to understand. Basically, miss is when the effect doesn't land. So if you can cause Rachel to miss with a Phoenix, then I think you'll be completely good to go, not getting any debuffs on yourself. So this is the next best option. Okay, I'm gonna actually take this video to show you guys the 2-3 formation, and then I'll compare it to the 1-4 formation, which you guys are most familiar with. I always mention that with Miho, if you don't have a T6 Miho, try not to use her at the back because her damage capability won't be great, and then in the end you'll be actually nerfing your Ruri's damage capability because a 2-3 formation will have lesser attack buff on the backline compared to a 1-4 formation. So if you are not having enough attack increase via formation for Ruri, then your main damage dealer is going to be sacrificed for this other damage dealer that is not really doing damage. Especially also because Biscuit here is not T6, so not having a T6 Biscuit doesn't let her share the buff among 2 damage dealers. So in this case, you do clear the mobs with Miho's top skill and Ruri's bottom skill because you want to preserve Miho's bottom skill with the debuff of magic vulnerability to land it on Rachel, and then you want to preserve Ruri's top skill, which is her strongest skill, so that you'll be able to do a lot of damage to Rachel. And of course, same skill procedures, always buff with Biscuit, then buff with Lina, and then use Ruri's top skill, land big damage. As you can see here, I don't have a cleanse, right? And Ruri's damage output is not the greatest because she was inflicted. She's not inflicted with the attack down, thankfully, but the other units are inflicted with the attack down. So one thing to point out here would be if you do have a T2 Miho, T2 Miho will be able to remove these debuffs on the back line, and then this will act as your cleanser, which is going to be a good thing so that you can secure your score better. So land the magic vulnerability again and prepare to use Ruri's top skill. I think there are too many buffs on Ruri that we do not see the debuffs until now. Yeah, so I think she got debuffed, but there's just too many buffs on her previously, so you could not see that her attack was actually decreased. So unfortunately here the Phoenix kills off both my damage dealers. So yeah, nothing much you can do now, especially now that you're in turn 60. So just play it through, get as much score as possible. Thankfully Yui does revive. So yeah, this is the score for the 2-3 formation. Next, I'm gonna show you guys the 1-4 formation with the same team, but this time no Yui with Ariel instead. Ariel is gonna do the same thing as Yui, that is to give burn immunity, but more importantly, Ariel does give magic damage boost, so that is gonna help out Ruri's damage output by quite a bit. So first thing will be to use Ariel's attacks to kill off the mobs. Then use Miho's top skill to kill off the mobs, because in this case, in this team, you do have quite a number of 3-man AoEs and they will take good damage from the 3-man AoEs. You can save your Ruri skills for later. So always buff with Biscuit again, Lina's buff, and then followed by Miho's bottom skill. So buff, buff, debuff in this order. If you would like to do buff, debuff, buff, that's also fine. And once that is done, get ready to use Ruri's skill. Take note that Lina's top skill actually also reduces defense on the boss, on Rachel, so you don't actually have to use Ariel's bottom skill to do that. But yes, if anyone finds out that you can actually cause Rachel to miss her Phoenix effect, do let me know in the comments. As you can see, you will be taking quite a bit of damage in this particular run. Especially heroes like Miho, they're quite fragile. Even though, you know, she does give lifesteal to the entire team, but I'm pretty sure it expired long ago. And with her down, you are gonna lose some damage output because you can no longer be able to apply magic vulnerability on the enemies. And over here, we are just gonna sustain with with Ariel, Lina, and cast as many Ruri skills as possible within whatever time we have. So technically, the score is already higher than the 2-3 formation, and that is really because of Ruri being at the back alone and getting all the attack buffs that she can get. I stress that if your Miho is not well built, not highly transcended, then go with the 1-4 formation. In this case, I'm showing you a short snippet of the Yeonhee version. Okay, I'm just not going to go through the whole thing again, but the Yeonhee version, as you can see, the score is already higher. Yeonhee is gonna be a better support unit probably, but then again, I cannot give you a fair comparison because this Yeonhee is T3, the Miho is T0. Okay, so I hope this video helped, and if it did, do give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for more Castle Rush videos this week. Thank you so much and see you.